Shalom, shalom. Kahala Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakodash. Demands to the apostles and elders of the great millstone who rule well. And salutations to the hopeful elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word and the name of the Most High and His Son in truth and in sincerity. This is Ira from Great Millstone, Wisconsin, coming at you with another lesson. And this lesson is going to be based off of, I think I called this one, just based off of Luke chapter 22, verse 31. Satan desires to sift you as wheat, and the thing dealing with that is when you go into a sifting process, is a separation, and Satan's job is basically to be our adversary, to separate us from the Lord, no matter by any means possible, and this is a complete reason why we have to be circumspect, we have to be vigilant, and we have to watch our surroundings, even watch what we say and what we do, watch, whatever content we ingest, you have to watch, how far is our balance leaning towards, is our balance leaning more towards the Lord, or is it leaning towards other things, because as we get down to the wire, especially down to the Passover now, because the Passover is coming up, every year you have men, during the Passover, you have men that fall out of the truth and you have men that come into the truth. So, you don't want to be one of those men that the Lord takes the spirit from you and you fall out of the truth, And as, I was going to say earlier, as time winds down, as we get close to the end, things are going to get progressively worse for society. And as, we see these things unfold, the demons are going to attack us harder and harder, more frequently, So I'll get straight to the scripture here. This is Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15. It says, "See then that ye walk circumspectly," meaning to look around, circuming around, inspect, meaning to look. So you have to pay attention to your surroundings, because you have everything in this world is against the Lord and against you because you represent the Lord, So you have to watch for any way that can cause you to fall. That's possible. It says, "Not as fools, but as wise." A fool doesn't know who his enemy is, But through the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, in reading the scripture, we know who our enemy is. Not only is it Esau and other nations, but our enemy is Satan. Satan is literally called the adversary, in the scriptures, which means to be adverse to, or to or to hinder, It says, "But as wise," and we're wise because as long as you have the knowledge, wisdom of the Lord, and you can understand these scriptures, then you have the wisdom, and we should have enough wisdom to apply the knowledge that we have received and that we've internalized in order to dodge Satan, in order to overcome Satan and overcome, things in this world. That's why you read, the Mark the 13th chapter tells you, "He that endureth unto the end shall be saved." We have to overcome these things. It says, "Redeeming the time because the days are evil." And that's the point, redeeming meaning to buy back. And the way that we've, bought back the time is through the prophecies, looking down the timeline and looking through this, filtering everything through the scriptures, we can see what's going to happen next, So since we understand the linear or the chronology of events, we should be able to see what's going on and avoid the evil. Scriptures say, "A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished." So the wise or the prudent man or the cautious man is going to see what's going on and do his best to hide himself, man. And where are the men of the Lord going to hide themselves? Underneath the Lord. We're going to run to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua for that covering. It says, "Because the days are evil," and we can see it. It's getting increasingly more evil, man. The word evil means bad or bad time. Salakia, my phone cut out on me. Satan is. It's about the third time, so Salakia, but yeah. So the word evil means bad time. You go back to the Hebrew "rye," which means which means bad, you know. So the days are evil, right? It says, wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is. And that's the point. Don't be unwise. But since we understand the scripture, we should understand what the will of the Lord is. And what is the will of the Lord? The will of the Lord is for us to be tested, you know. Job, the 2nd chapter, you know. The will of the Lord is also for, hopefully, the will of the Lord is for the elect to survive this world and overcome everything and be delivered, you know. The will of the Lord is for this place to be destroyed, you know. The will of the Lord is so that the kingdom of heaven can come into fruition, you know. So now that we know these things and we're watching for these things, we also have to watch for the hindrance, you know. Now check it out. It says, North Korea has launched a ballistic missile. South Korea and Japan say. Okay, we'll look at that later. But Salakia, verse 18, it says, and be not drunk with wine, wherein is excess, and that wine, can be a plethora of philosophies. But here, the wine is really talking about your own pride. When you drink wine, you get drunk, you start acting belligerent, you start acting a little prideful, you get loud, you start getting stubborn, you start ignoring things, or ignoring people around you. That's why the script started out with being circumspect, because when you're drunk with wine, you're not paying attention to anything, So if you're drunk on your own Kool-Aid or your own spirit, so to speak, feeling yourself, being drunk with the ideas that come up in your mind, you will not be able to pay attention to the spirit, It says, but be filled with the spirit, And so we're supposed to be filled with the spirit of the Hakodash, man, Because if not, like I said, like scriptures say, I'm not saying anything. Like scriptures say, Satan is, Satan is busy, man. He's busy trying to catch you. This is 1 Peter 5:8. It says, be sober, be vigilant, So be sober, being clear-minded, and that's not talking about alcohol. That's talking about, having a pure mind, Be vigilant, meaning diligent, It says, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour, So that lion is walking around stalking its prey, We watched a movie earlier, Denzel Washington's Fallen, and the demon that they had, that was the main antagonist there, which his name is Azazel, which really goes back to Luke the 16th chapter, which is talking about the Hebrew word for scapegoat, Azal, But anyway, so in the movie, that demon was walking around like a lion, stalking its prey. That demon stalked Denzel Washington all the way to the end of the movie, man, waiting for a chance for him to slip up. And that's exactly what Satan is now today, man, in your everyday life, in your reality, waiting for you to slip up, man. So he's going to throw little monkey wrenches in your game and, do all types of things to get you off your square. So that way he can take over your mind, It says, whom resist steadfast in the faith, knowing that the same afflictions are accomplished in your brother that are in the world. See, we're supposed to resist Satan steadfastly in the faith, man. And the thing is, we're not supposed to be getting into that depressive, woe is me state. Nobody knows what I'm going through. The scriptures just told you that you have the same afflictions that are accomplished in your brethren in the world, man. So everyone's going through the same things, man. It might not be the exact same things at the exact same time, but we all go through these things together as a collective, That's why, we have a body, so we can take counsel on what to do in certain situations, But if men don't want to take counsel, then that's another part of, that being their downfall. That's them being sifted in the sieve, man. As going back to Amos the 9th chapter, because 2/3 of Israel is going to be sifted, man, and Lord willing, I'm not one of them, Lord willing, we aren't one of the men that'll be sifted, hopefully, we're of the hopeful elect, Lord willing. But it says, but the power of all grace, who hath called us unto his eternal glory, be Yahushua Mashiach, after that ye have suffered a while, make you perfect, establish, strengthen, and settle you. So really, Satan is like that resistance, like that resistance band or that resistance training. You know what I'm saying? Like you're lifting weights in the gym, you want to put up stronger numbers in the bench press, you might, fresh, fresh starting to work out, and you could probably only bench 95 pounds, right? But the more and more you start lifting that weight, the stronger you get. And soon you'll be able to deal with more and more weight, It's like the same thing with Satan and these demons, man, You start out and come to truth with the low grade demons, the longer that, the longer that you progress into the truth, or the longer, that you resist in the truth, the stronger the demons are going to come at you, But guess what, though? As opposed, not opposed, but because of the spiritual exercise, which is resisting Satan, through the power and spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, a lot of these things, or not a lot of these things, but most things shouldn't bother you the same way that they did before, So you should be able to navigate around certain demons and certain things that'll hinder you. Because at the end of the day, you're going to come out stronger, like the scriptures say, and make you establish you, settle you, strengthen you, So at the end of the day, you come out stronger in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai than when you came in, because this is Luke chapter 22, verse, I believe, 31. Yep. It says, and the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. And that's the thing. Going back to the first Peter I just read, Satan is around here like a roaring lion, trying to devour you. So Satan desires to sift you, meaning to separate you, from the Most High, It says, but I have prayed for thee. So Yahushua prayed for Simon, like Yahushua prays for his elect, man, that we don't get caught up and deceived by the world, It says that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren, So the Lord is praying for the elect, man, that they don't get, or that their faith doesn't fail, that they don't get tired, that they don't fall out, The Lord prays for the elect. So Lord willing, we're of that number, and we'll be able to defeat Satan, I think that might be it. Yeah, James, the first chapter. Really quick, there's James 1:22. Says, but be ye doers of the word, and not hearers only, deceiving your own selves, right? For if any be a hearer of the word, and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass, meaning being prideful. For he beholdeth himself, and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. But whoso looketh into the perfect law of liberty, and continueth therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed, So as long as you're doing what you're supposed to be doing in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, you'll be blessed, And that's the thing. So the Lord will bless you so that way, you can keep Satan at bay, And that's the thing. The Lord is praying for the elect, the hopeful elect, so that way, Satan doesn't completely destroy us, man, So the elect is always going to be the elect. The elect is, always going to have their sins not imputed unto them, and they're going to be delivered, man, no matter what, And that's only through the power and the defenses of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, Mashiach, So with that, I just wanted to, just share what was on my mind at the moment. So, hope you brothers and sisters, you Akiam and Akwath, were edified, by the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. I want to give all praises, call halal, Yahweh, B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, B'Hashem Hakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of the great millstone who were well, and salutations to the hopeful elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing the word and the name in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.